5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition. Strap in.
Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. Every Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. Only on Armed Radio Global.
Your host, Matt Hasley, coming at you. Special thanks to our sponsors out there, eat24.com. Have you ate yet? Well, if you haven't, log on to eat24.com, download that app for your favorite mobile device. Click, order, and eat. It's like a food truck in your pants. Really, it's that easy. Also, hotsaucevault.com. Check out Louie at hotsaucevault.com. He's got the hottest of the hot, wimpy for the wimp. You name it, he's got it. Gag gifts for every occasion. Check it out, hotsaucevault.com. So, a lot of things going on in the news. We got some new Hall of Fame members for the Major League Baseball that were voted in today, and a couple snubs. But I don't know. I just, some of the Hall of Fame balloting, you know, I don't understand it. But today they, I have no problem against who they elected. You know, this time. The problem I have is who they don't. It says Jeff Bagwell, Tim Raines, and Ivan Rodriguez, Pudge Rodriguez, as they call him, were elected to Baseball's Hall of Fame Wednesday, earning the honors as Trevor Hoffman and Vladimir Guerrero fell just short of the necessary 75%. Bonds and Clemens, their careers tainted by allegation of steroid use, were passed over for a fifth straight year by Baseball Writers Association of America, but each received a majority of votes for the first time. They need to prove it, and if they can't prove it, they need to do a different way out. It's like they didn't, they won't let, Pete Rose into the Hall of Fame because they say Pete Rose bet on baseball. They don't deny everything he did as a player. And Pete Rose should get in for a player, not because of what he did as a manager and bet on baseball. They can't prove he ever bet against his team to where he threw a game. Pete played it like 120% all the time the way he played. He was just go, go, go. So I just find it hard to believe that, they don't let him in. You look at stats of Jeff Bagwell. Bagwell played from 91 to 2005 for the Astros. Had 2,314 career hits, 449 home runs. I always hated playing against the 3 Bs as the Cubs going down there. And then you got also Pudge Rodriguez. He played from 1991 to 2011. Hard to believe he's been out of the game that long. He was a catcher. Hard to be a catcher for 10 years. Just kills your knees. Played main team was the Texas Rangers. He had 2,844 hits, 311 home runs. Bagwell's batting average was .297. Pudge's batting average was .296. And Tim Raines, who played from 1979 to 2002, who was an outfielder, played for the Montreal Expos. He had 2,605 hits, 170 home runs, and his career average was .294. I mean, right in amongst these guys. They're all right there. You look at these three guys. I mean, I think they're all fitting to be in the Hall. The problem I have, with those guys Bonds and Clemens, who weren't selected, just allegations and rumors. Prove it. Come up with the evidence to prove that they didn't. Or they did steroids and everything like that. And I bet you 75% of the league at one time was doing it. The Major League Baseball kind of hid their, kind of covered their eyes to it. Kind of like, you look at Sosa and McGuire and Bonds and all them, they were all beefing up. I still wonder about Pujols. You look at all the players as they come up, their size. I mean, Sosa, when he started out, he was skinny. And Bonds the same way. Well, the league let it go on for so long, and then all of a sudden now they're going to police it. Well, you were the ones who started the incident. You allowed it to go to what it was. And you had what? They had, I don't know how many players that were, a report came out that tested positive. And you had and then finally all of a sudden the Major League Baseball, we're going to crack down on this. So, you got guys they won't let into the Hall of Fame, because of Clemens and Bonds. Come up with the proof if you're going to sit there and deny him. But as a player, they only got 5 more years to where they got a chance. And I don't understand why there's a time limit on it. I don't think there should be. If their stats are good now, they should be good 15 years from now. So, you look at some of the past players that are in the Hall. They talk about some of the Ty Cobb was one of the biggest jerks there is. They're talking about, they say he was let in because of his playing ability. I wonder how many guys that are in the Hall of Fame now that did steroids that they didn't know. I bet there's a few of them. I bet there's a few of them in the NFL Hall of Fame that way that did steroids. All of them do supplements of nowadays. You have to compete. Not saying anything's banned substance, but you could, you have to have a nutritionalist and know exactly what substances you can't put in your body to this day, because you might be taking a certain type of medication or something, and it's on the banned substance list. So that's, I just think it's an unfair way to treat somebody. But congratulations to Bagwell, Raines, and Rodriguez. 3 fitting inductees. But you look at, I don't think Bonds will make it in. Maybe Clemens. Just got to prove, that they actually did what they did. We also had in it, Lady Gaga was announced to be the halftime show for the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about, the playoff games coming this weekend. Exclusive Lady Gaga asked not to talk about politics. Donald Trump during the Super Bowl halftime show, sources says. And I don't think she should. I think it should be off-limits politics. I don't think it's there for her to put a political agenda or spin or slam on the current incoming president. That's not the position of the Super Bowl halftime show. So I've heard people, different things. Some people call her Lady Gag. I don't know. I mean, I don't know her personally or well enough to know. I like some of her music, and that's it. I don't need a political speech from a singer or songwriter or actor or actress, because they're famous, or an athlete. It's I made up my decision of who I wanted to vote for, and that was it. So I guess it says Gaga's personal opinions on the election have hardly been a mystery. The 30-year-old pop star has been a prominent supporter of Hillary Clinton and was photographed holding a Love Trump's Hate sign outside New York Trump's Tower following the election results. So we're going to get into talking about the protests and all that stuff later. But in NFL news, this weekend we have coming up Bing playoff predictions. That's what just happened to be who I happened to search it through. But after a crazy wild card division and everything like that, it says Green Bay Packers at Atlanta. Bing predicts winner Falcons 63%. The kickoff time, it says opening line, current line, is Atlanta -4. Kickoff time is 3:05 Eastern time. They said, let's start with the negative from Aaron Rodgers' Dallas performance. I don't know. Too much negative. Rodgers threw his first interception since Week 10 and a streak of 318 consecutive passes without a pick. Other than that, he was brilliant. Green Bay has won 8 straight games, making an improbable run to the conference title game after starting 4-6. Yeah, they're on a groove right now. This game has all the makings for a shootout as Atlanta boasts an offense that can outpace Rodgers and company. The Falcons averaged 33.8 points per game this season, the highest for any team since the Broncos in 2013. For all the attention Rodgers gets as the hottest quarterback in the league, Ryan has been on similar tears of late. In the last 5 games, including the playoffs, Ryan has completed 115 of 157. That's a 73.2% for 1,469 yards. 14 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's posted a passer rating of 120 or better in every game during that stretch. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be a very good game. And then you got Steelers at New England. Bing predicts Patriots 70%. Opening line right now is New England -6. They're giving up 6. Kickoff time is 6:40 p.m. Eastern time. Patriots are viewed as heavily favorites to return to Super Bowl for the first time since 2014 season, as Vegas is spotting the Steelers 6 points on the road. New England dispatched the Texans in a fairly boring divisional round game, while Pittsburgh squeaked the Chiefs in Kansas City 18-16 in a game which Steelers' scoring output consisted of 6 field goals. Pittsburgh failed to find the end zone with Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown. On the field, it is amazing that the trio will need to take advantage of scoring opportunities to have a chance this weekend. One factor is Pittsburgh's favor is that the Patriots haven't exactly faced a murderer's row of opposing quarterbacks. So, yeah. I think there are going to be several good games. It will be it'd be two good games to watch. I really don't have a team that I'm rooting for. I have teams I'm rooting against, but teams I'm not rooting for. So we have some stats, which would be playoff stats that surprise most people. This is put on by MSN Sports. It says Tom Brady, Eli Manning, and Peyton Manning all have the same exact passer rating, 87.4. This is for playoffs. Mark Sanchez has the highest playoff passer rating than Eli Manning, Peyton Man. It says Mark Sanchez has a higher passer rating than Brady, Eli Manning, Peyton, Brett Favre, Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers, Steve Young, and John Elway. And how many Super Bowls does he have? Russell Wilson needs only 2 fourth-quarter comebacks in playoffs to tie Tom Brady for most all-time. He's only 28. Julian Edelman is in his 7th season as a pro, already has most postseason receptions than Anquan Bolin, Fred Biletnikoff, Marvin Harrison, Chris Carter, Shannon Sharp, Larry Fitzgerald, Randy Moss, and Terrell Owens. That's amazing there. Everybody, you look at him, he's so small, and you think, oh, this guy, and he just finds a way to get open. 6 teams have won a playoff game without scoring a touchdown. The Steelers accomplished this feat on last Sunday night. The Colts in 2006 were the last to do it before going on to win the Super Bowl. It says, notable playoff choker Tony Romo, 93.0, has a higher playoff passer rating than clutch hero Tom Brady, 87.4. I don't think it was a choke on Romo. I think it was a slick ball. NFL kickers have been perfect, 34-34 on field goals during the 2017 playoffs. 8 different AFC teams have played in conference championship games since 2000. Meanwhile, 13 teams have appeared in NFC championship games over that time. The 3 NFC teams that haven't appeared in the conference title games, the Lions, Cowboys, and Redskins. Oh, I saw a little jab at the Cowboys where, they're all talking about how the Russians hacked the election, and it had a picture of Putin. It says, "Did you really think I was going to let the Cowboys win?" I was like, that's so cruel. Number 10, proof that playoff performance has no predictive value. Jake Delhomme had the best passer rating in NFL history after his first 6 postseason games. He threw 8 interceptions over his last 2. Whenever the Packers and Giants have played in postseason, the winner has gone on to win the title. The Packers beat the Giants in the 2017 wild card round. That's the team we're rooting against. So that's why they'll probably end up doing it. And then I'll have to listen to my sister and her family just gag me. Only one QB over the age of 40 has won an NFL playoff game. Brett Favre. Tom Brady turns 40 next August. I just wonder how much longer he's going to play. Might retire after this year. You never know if he wins. Only 3 teams have made their conference championship game after starting the season 4-6 or worse. The Packers, who did it this year, would be the first team to make the Super Bowl after doing so. Only 3 running backs have rushed for more than 160 yards twice in the NFL playoffs. Terrell Davis and John Riggins and Le'Veon Bell, who is only 24. 15, the Ice Bowl remains the coldest game in NFL playoff history with a kickoff temperature of minus 13. The coldest feeling game, however, was the 1982 FC Championship game between the Chargers and the Bengals. It felt like minus 59 degrees. Wow. That's crazy that they would keep that game going. Only one quarterback in NFL history has started multiple playoff games and gone undefeated. Frank Reich, author of the Bills' famous comeback against the Oilers in 1993. Number 17, Brady and Peyton are the only 2 quarterbacks to attempt 1,000 passes in the postseason. No other quarterback has attempted more than 800. And in the 2012 playoffs, Tim Tebow averaged 23.8 yards per completion. That's the highest mark in single postseason since the merger. And he wasn't good enough to play for Denver. In just 21 seasons of existence, the Ravens own the record for the most road playoff wins with 10. The Giants have won the most road playoff games in a row with 5. The Lions have lost an NFL record 9 consecutive playoff games since the merger. Detroit is 1-13 in the postseason. Swallow that, Mike Allen. So, with all the talk about Mike Tomlin's comments and stuff like that, they're just kind of like putting it off. So, Patriots took the high road. And Mike Tomlin says he is definitely going. Antonio Brown is going to be disciplined for, recording, and he should be. So, but with the two playoff games coming this weekend, Packers are going to have a little bit of trouble because apparently Adams joins Jordy Nelson, as latest questions in Packers wide receiver group. Green Bay Packers coach Mike McCarthy says receiver Davante Adams may not practice until Saturday because of ankle injury. The latest question for receiving group that may also be without Jordy Nelson for the NFC Championship. Jordy took a hit on the sideline, helmet to ribs. Pretty nasty hit. They had what do we got? Oh, here's a really kind of a cool story. You got they call them rabbits, and what they are is they're tour players that are trying to get they're trying to play in a spot. Just the average Joe Blow off the street can try to Monday morning qualify for a tour event. It costs like $400. Well, apparently, Career Builder Challenge field includes a local club's cart barn employee. It was not business as usual the recent day at Plantation Golf Club in Indio, California. Chris Evans, who works in the cart barn there, was summoned to work on his day off and then was called into the office. My mind was kind of wandering. He said Wednesday, I was going in there wondering, am I in trouble? The head pro, Peter Lecourcier, said to him, we've got to make a call. Evans was put on the phone with Jeff Sanders, Executive Vice President of Legendary Sports, which now runs the PGA Tour's Career Builder Challenge in La Quinta. Chris Sanders said, let me be the first to welcome you to the Career Builder Challenge. Not sure he heard correctly. Evans replied, what did you say? Says, we'd like to officially invite you to play in the event, Sanders said. Evans was speechless. It's a feel-good story of the week before the week even begins, with the first round on Thursday, a cart barn employee teeing it up at the PGA Tour event. Evans, 28, is a professional golfer from Washington State who has paid his dues and then some many tours and working odd jobs around the plantation to help pay bills and have a place to play and practice. He has conditional status on the Web.com tour through without success, and last week earned conditional status on PGA Tour and Latino America. So how did an obscure player without apparent credentials get a sponsor's exemption into a PGA Tour event? There is a pro scratch event in the desert in which professional golfers, reportedly including several tour players, team with scratch amateurs. Evans, who called the event fun but highly competitive. His amateur partner won the event by 3, attracting the temperature in desert golf circles. He goes, I think it helped maybe answer a little bit of question whether I or not I'd be ready for something like this. He said it really helped me out. The status of where the game was in other people's eyes. Evans, who starts on the stadium course on PGA West on Thursday morning, said he has no other goals than to having the cleanest card possible. And if we can keep the blemishes off and make some red numbers great, I'm looking forward to having that experience. Well, good luck to him. That's nice to see. You don't see normal, a guy like that who's working in a cart barn, a chance to play. But he just tells you he's got the game. You'd go out there for those qualifiers, Monday morning qualifiers they call them, and you'd see 150 guys going for maybe 4 spots. And it's bring your best. If you don't have it, you go home. So, it's pretty cool. They have, where's it at here? I had an article about Phil Mickelson. I'm trying to... Mickelson's supposed to be making his... I think I have it on... first 2017 start in the Career Builder Challenge. So... I don't know what I did with the article here, but I got it somewhere. But it's not really that big a deal. So, good luck to him. You also, Rory McIlroy, he's going to be out for a while because of a rib injury. We talked about that last week. You also have, apparently, Obama's golf controversy, the one where he was talking about trying to get, after he got his stint being president, talking about joining a country club, possibly denying President Obama membership due to his recent stance and policies towards Israel. The story has taken another turn as a local mayor and member of the club has quit over the controversy. According to the Washington Post, Somerset Mayor Jeffrey Slavin, a lifelong member at Woodmont Country Club, dropped out on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Slavin sent an email to the club, which obtained by the Post. It says, I can no longer belong to a community where intolerance is accepted, where history is forgotten, where speech is denied, and where the nation's first black president is disrespected. Slavin, in his letter with a quote from the Civil Rights Anthem, lift every voice and sing, and then the words stay woke. So, Woodmont was founded in 1913 by the Jewish community in response to struggles to join other clubs in the area. The Obama family plans on living around the D.C. area after leaving office, making Woodmont ranked in Golf Digest best in the state rankings, an ideal destination. Well, I understand that they would be upset about him wanting to join the club because he's saying that their intolerance is accepted. Well, they're feeling that his intolerance towards Israel. That's what they're and they haven't denied him yet. But that's the word that came out. So I don't know. I think it's a little grandstanding by the mayor to want to cause, maybe, I don't know, maybe he wants to do is do something special for the president, like jumping on the sword for him or whatever. I don't know. They also had let me see, I have here we go. Justin Thomas. And after Justin Thomas went, he has 23-year-old has 3 titles on his young season, as well as claiming the PGA Tour 72-hole scoring record and becoming one of just 7 players to fire a sub-60 round. There's also no matter that Thomas's bank account, chiefly that it looked like he held up a Brinks armored truck in only 5 events. Thomas has earned a staggering $3.8 million. For context, only 15 players collected more than that amount all last season. It said, so Thomas did what any normal person would do in such a situation. He pulled the trigger on a custom Range Rover. I don't know if you got a picture, see it. He tweeted out, now accepting all requests to drive people places. And it says, thanks at DreamWorks Motorsports for the slick ride. It says, I'm told that cars are one of the worst investments on the market. Conversely, don't think Thomas is going to be struggling cashing additional tour checks anytime soon. That thing is wicked. I wish you would shoot some pictures inside it. Yeah, I bet you that thing's just laid out. Got everything in it. So it got 2,000 or almost 24,000 likes on Twitter. So not a bad day. Also, went through playoff prediction. We're good there. Yep. All right. Well, apparently we're on to a little bit of different. You talk about Friday. Friday is the inauguration of our next president. You have a major project going out called Disrupt J20, which is I don't know what you want to call it. It's trying to organize and protest against the inauguration of our next president. It says large groups of left-wing protesters will try to sabotage Donald Trump's inauguration by creating blockades and destroying public property, according to recent reports. On the day of the inauguration, which takes place Friday, January 20th, protesters are planning to create a series of human blockades across Washington, D.C., where participants will protest against a variety of Trump proposed policies, from immigration reform to climate change. The principal organizer of the protest is a group known as #DisruptJ20. We're already advertising for people to join them in a bold mobilization against the inauguration of Donald Trump. It says, we call on people of good conscience to join in disrupting the ceremonies. If Trump is to be inaugurated at all, let it happen behind closed doors, showing the true face of the security state Trump will preside over. It must be made clear to the whole world that the vast majority of the people of the United States do not support his presidency or consent to his rule, the group states on their website. Some of the Disrupt J20 planned events for the inauguration day include anti-capitalist, anti-fascist bloc, quack block blockade, parade queer resistance, climate convergence, as well as known as Occupy Inauguration. One event will involve a gay dance parade outside Vice President-elect Mike Pence's home, whilst an anti-capitalist protest starting from Logan Circle is likely to involve property damage, according to sources from the Daily Caller. A report from Fox News on Friday also unveiled audio of a member of Disrupt J20 pledging to do everything we can to try to stop people from being able to access the inauguration. It says over 10,000 civil servants are expected to be deployed on that day of inauguration, including local police and members of the military. When asked about planned protest, Peter Newsham, the chief of Metropolitan Police Chief, confirmed security forces would be able to handle it. Attendees of the inauguration will include Bill and Hillary Clinton, as well as former U.S. President George W. Bush and his father, George H.W. Bush. Well, apparently George H.W. Bush and his wife were both hospitalized and will not make it. He actually wrote a letter to President-elect Donald Trump and wished him luck and informed him why he wouldn't be able to make it. So you look at for them to try to disrupt. I mean, I don't understand how they figure that it's not legitimate. They think that, they all cheered that President Obama pardoned Bradley Manning, or Chelsea Manning, whatever you want to call him. He went into prison as a guy, went into prison as a guy, come out of prison, or is going to come out of prison as a chick. President Obama pardoned for giving away secrets. They're blaming Russia for getting all these, having to do with the election by hacking and releasing documents. So what did Bradley Manning do? He released classified information. He leaked classified information. I don't understand how they go, oh, well, yeah, that doesn't, that's too much punishment for him. But everything, Russia did it, it's their fault. I just don't I don't see I don't see that Russia involvement as much as maybe I don't, maybe I'm wrong, but what I don't understand why Russia would be in trying to hack and get Trump elected. So what my problem is okay, they went in and they hacked Hillary's emails and they hacked the DNC. And everything they released, they're not denying the content of what they released. They're just denying they shouldn't have been able to release it. Well, that's possible they shouldn't have been able to release it. But all it did was expose the criminality of what's going on. You look at right now, they're shutting down the CGI, with the Clinton Global Initiative. And why are they shutting it down? Because now they don't have any, political clout to sell. People are pulling their money out of it. By anti-Trump protesters. And they're told the D.C. police will not have their body cams on to photograph that. Why not? That should be on at all times. They should have somebody standing back filming it with a film camera to film all the protesters and the violence and everything they do. They should be prosecuted for everything they do. I don't have any problem with the citizen being able to film the police. The police should be able to do is film the protest to make sure that they are nonviolent. I have no problem with, you want to come there, you want to do nonviolent protest, that's fine. That's your right. You look at past presidents. I didn't dislike Bill Clinton. I disliked some of his policies. The biggest thing I didn't like about Bill Clinton was I didn't like he lied to the American public. Overall, I thought he was cool that he played the sax, just stuff like that. There's things I didn't like about George Bush. Things I liked about it. I liked some of his policies, some of it didn't. Barack Obama. I like him. He's charismatic. He's hard not to like him. I like that he likes golf. I like him that he's he's a real smooth talker. He's easy to like. I just don't like some of his policies. And just because I don't like his policy doesn't make somebody racist because you disagree with him. You know, it's you know, when he goes out of office and Donald Trump becomes president, I hope he succeeds. I don't think he has anything but to do is go up, because everybody is expecting him to, you know, crash our economy, do everything. You know, it's you know, they don't give him any credit for anything. And right now, I mean, we had one of the major car companies here in the U.S. is talking about $1 billion investment in the United States, which is going to create jobs. It's just been good news coming on. And that's because people are talking about America first. And it should be. It should be America first. It should be that we take care of ourselves before we go around and try to police the rest of the world. You want to do, you know, you want to be America's cop. Well, we're not doing enough at home. The problem is, you know, you got cities like Chicago and Baltimore. You know, look at Chicago's murder rate is higher than New York and LA combined. What's that tell you about the Democratic policies that are going on in Chicago? That has nothing to do with Republican policies that are in Chicago. That's Democratic policies that have been enacted for years that are failing in Chicago. And they go, oh, it's because of the guns that are coming in from Indiana. I'm sorry, no. They have the same, you know, liberal policies in New York and LA and still have violence. It's gang violence. You can deny it all you want, believe it doesn't happen, but it's there. Why do people want to be involved in a gang? Because they feel like they get camaraderie or they get satisfaction from the family. You know, down in Texas they call it La Familia. You know, the family. You know, they feel like they fit in, that they back them. You know, they cover their backs when they do everything. You know, they get in trouble, they bring money to their commissary, you know, at the jail and do all this stuff. They take care of each other. That's what they feel. That's what the mob was back in the day, which I'm still is probably going on. They're just doing a lot better at hiding it. But way back, that was the thing. You didn't speak out against the mob, you know, because then they found you dead. But they all backed each other. So we have, you know, I just hope that when they get through, that nobody gets seriously injured in this. I don't feel that if you're going to destroy property and assault people, you should be taken down. You should be arrested. So they have, you know, apparently going to be protests in a lot of different states, but Cannonball, North Dakota, protesters who take to the streets in North Dakota might want to look both ways before the changes in the rules of the road. A bill sponsored by State Rep Keith Kempernich would protect drivers from legal consequences if they inadvertently hit, injure, or kill pedestrians who are obstructing traffic. The legislation is a direct response to the massive protests around Standing Rock Indian Reservation. Kempenich said ongoing protests to shut down a nearby highway for months and stalled construction of a pipeline that would carry crude from North Dakota oil patch. If you stay off the roadway, this would never be an issue, Kempernich said. These motorists are going around the lawful legal exercise of their rights to drive down the road. Those people didn't ask to be in this. You know, you get people laying on the road. You got people blocking traffic in different states because of their supposed cause, whatever it is. And, you know, linking arms and everything like that. Well, I'll tell you what. If somebody's going down, you do it at night. I saw one video, and I don't know, this was a while back, I think it was before Christmas, where somebody got hit and they broke their hip. Well, duh, you're on an interstate blocking traffic trying to shut it down. Okay. You know, what do we say? Stupid? Yes. Very stupid. I talked earlier about President Obama pardoned Bradley Manning, but he also pardoned General James Cartwright, and he pardoned what's his name here? It says he pardoned Oscar Lopez Rivera, which is a former bomb maker. And, of course, Rivera was sentenced to 55 years in prison in 1981 on charges of seditious conspiracy, robbery, and transportation of firearms and explosive charges. Bill Ayers, of the Weather Underground bomb maker, celebrated Tuesday after his old Chicago friend, Barack Obama, commuted the federal prison sentence of Oscar Lopez Rivera, another bomb-making terrorist. Rivera was sentenced to 55 years in prison. This is the tweet from Bill Ayers. Oscar Lopez freed. Chelsea Manning out. Great news, joy and justice. Free Leonard. Pardon Ethel. Keep rolling. It says, I just don't understand why, you would pardon a bomb maker, and what, do you think he's going to go back to it? Very possible. So, President Obama said that Bradley Manning, the sentence was too much for what the alleged crime was. So, or not alleged, convicted crime. And that's why he commuted the sentence for Bradley Manning. Well, for leaking the same information, and they call, or for leaking classified information, I'm wondering if we got, 2 days left? Or is there going to be 11th hour pardon of Hillary Clinton? I think charges have to be brought first, doesn't it? Maybe not. I think it'd be hard to pardon somebody beforehand. But what would he care? I mean, it's not like they could do anything to him if he did. So, we also, let's see here. CNN president have been back and forth because they've been calling out Donald Trump on things. Well, apparently CNN president says Jeff Zucker defends his network after being labeled fake news by President-elect. He says, our credibility has never been higher, and asserted President-elect Donald Trump's treatment of the network has little to no impact on its global influence. He goes, I think era of access journalism we've known is over. It doesn't worry me that Donald Trump hasn't done an interview with CNN in 8 months. He says, I think our credibility is higher than ever, our viewership is higher than ever, and our reporting is stronger as ever. He said, one of the things I think the administration hasn't figured out yet is that there's only one television network that is seen in Beijing, Moscow, Seoul, Tokyo, Pyongyang, Baghdad, Tehran, and Damascus, and that's CNN. Zucker went on to issue an eerie warning to Trump, reminding him that the network controls how other countries perceive him. The perception of Donald Trump in capitals around the world is shaped in many ways by CNN. Continuing to have an adversarial relationship with the network is a mistake. So he's threatening him right there. That's what he's doing. He's making a threat. That's called, trying to intimidate him by, what do you call that, official oppression or whatever. So I don't know. I think it's just stupid to make a statement like that. And kind of off the wall news here, we had let me see here. Well, there's another one. This is an article by Media declared open war against presidency that hasn't even started yet. Dan Gaynor, Vice President of Business and Culture at Media Research Center, spoke Tuesday with Breitbart News Daily Sirius XM host Alex Marlow about many of the Obama administration scandals, highlighting the mainstream media insistence on leaving Obama's tenure scandal-free. I'm like, come on, you don't see? Duh. Well, getting out of that, here's a cool story, and you just wonder why dogs are so great. Dog licks family members to save them from burning home in Philly. A dog is being hailed a hero after apparently saving a family from a burning home on Wednesday morning. Think about that. Licked and woke them up to get them out of the house for a fire. That's awesome. They also had another kind of a cool story. A California mechanical engineer builds world's largest Nerf gun. This thing is crazy to see. I mean, it's unbelievable how big it is. It says mechanical engineer in California constructed a massive Nerf gun in the hope of upping his coworkers. The 6-foot-long gun, constructed by Mark Rober, was named the world's largest Nerf gun by the Guinness Book of World Records. It's really cool to make in the Guinness World Records 2017 blockbuster book. He said, I never thought I would get one, but it's always been a secret bucket list of kind of thing. He says, now I have the official certificate hanging in my office. He says, the biggest challenge was harnessing the pressure that allows the gun to fire massive foam bullets made of a pool noodle and a toilet plunger at the speed of 40 miles per hour. Oh. It says Rober showcased various other inventions on science experiments on his personal YouTube channel, which has more than 1 million subscribers. He first came up with the idea to construct a monstrous toy weapon to escalate ongoing office Nerf war. Well, he's going to end it. So you got to see the video of this thing. It's unbelievable. Everyone in the office has Nerf guns. They shoot each other with them. Rober said, I started thinking about how to one-up my fellow engineers. I had a few different ideas, but eventually decided to go big or go home. Can you imagine getting hit with a 40-mile-an-hour Nerf dart? Yeah. Man killed with a 40-mile-an-hour Nerf dart. Yeah. That would be cool. I'm going to have to check out that YouTube page. Also, what's the biggest franchise? McDonald's. Talking about McDonald's. McDonald's wants to woo you with two Big Macs. Like most 50-year-olds, the Big Mac is starting to show its age. That toasted sesame seed buns and secret sauce can't hide the fact that Mickey D's still using frozen patties. Today's fast food customers trend toward better burgers with fresher beef and a wider variety of toppings. Last year, an internal company memo revealed that only 20% of millennials had even tried a Big Mac. McDonald's decided it was time for a makeover. It says, on Wednesday, the company unveiled 2 new look Big Macs. The limited edition Mac Jr. and the Grand Mac. The company, the original, all 3 versions hold the traditional frozen patties and classic sauce. The difference is size. The Mac Jr. lacks in its middle bun, has only 1 patty, and has fewer calories, 460. Oh, it says fewer calories, 460, than a turkey sandwich from Panera Bread. The Grand Max has 860 calorie monstrosity, about 1.5 times as big as the 540 calorie original. Will likely serve a novelty item ordered by incredibly hungry or the unashamed. Yeah. My son will have 2. No. I said this is a smart idea because customers keep saying they want more choices, especially in portion sizes, says Bonnie Riggs, a restaurant industry analyst and market research NPD group, sorry. And since traffic is expected to remain unchanged this year at all restaurants, McDonald's would need to siphon off customers of its competitors to grow. I tell you what, I think they need to do delivery, and they do need to do more delivery to locations. It says, unlike other chains such as Taco Bell, whose Doritos Locos Tacos did $1 billion in 2012 in its first year, McDonald's has struggled to draw crowds with its creations. Burgers account for almost 20% of the restaurant's chain sales, but it's been decades since there was any groundbreaking innovation. They need to do is come up with something that drives people to want to go there. The Doritos Locos Taco it flows with the name so well. It's I would need to be a fresh burger. It's a McDonald's used many mail franchises, paper instructions for each new item to ensure uniformity. A Big Mac should taste the same in Maine as it does in New Mexico. But at the time, it partnered with San Francisco Inkling, which created a mobile training guide for the cooks with language options and instructional videos. The software, accessible on desktops and tablets, will provide McDonald's with real-time data on which locations are using the materials, says Matt McInnes. Inkling's new chief executive officer will know which franchises are making the burgers properly and which ones are just winging it. You ever see that show, Undercover Boss, and they go under because of stuff like that? I can't wait. I want to see the movie McDonald's. The where Ray Kroc, the story about McDonald's. I think it should be a good one. Here's a kind of a cool story. A lot of places have snow on the ground right now. Well, every kid would like to have a dad like this. It says, Utah dad builds 300-foot-long backyard luge course. South Jordan, Utah. A Utah mother of 15 shared a video of creative way for her husband found to entertain their brood. A 300-foot-long backyard luge course. It says, my husband built the long ice luge with our kids. Williams wrote, her husband, has been refining the course for years. We'll enjoy riding our homemade luge each year. We've been doing it for approximately 15. We began in our previous home, and now that we have a bigger yard, the track has gotten much longer, she said. I tell you, that would be just awesome as a kid, being able to do, has a dad that wants to sit there and go out and build a luge course. And if you're in a climate like that, you want to get the kids outside, where they're out playing on it, I bet they just have a blast. So, around here, it's been too warm lately. But it would all been melting right now. They do have, those snow machines, but tomorrow I think we're supposed to be in like 42, and Saturday it's supposed to be 50. So, no snow for us, except for that piles of black snow that they piled up from plowing. So, well, it's that time. It's a fast hour. We're done. We'll see you on tomorrow night on Night Talk with Joe Rocks. And I'll be back Friday night for Straight Talk. So everybody have a great night. Great rest of your week. And most of all, if you see something, say something. And be safe.